The Southeastern Shipyard was an outgrowth of all of the pressure to produce cargo ships for World War II. And Savannah, being a natural port, a shipyard in years past, was a perfect fit to try and provide some of these ever essential cargo vessels even before the U.S. got involved in the war. The Liberty ship is what was primarily produced at the Southeastern Shipyard. And these, again, were not glamorous ships. In fact, the President, Roosevelt, called them ugly ducklings because they had not beautiful lines, but they were cargo ships, and they were essential when you're fighting a war on two fronts, the Atlantic and the Pacific. So the Liberty ships produced at Southeastern Shipyard numbered 88 in all, and they created a shipyard literally out of nothing on the marsh of the Savannah River. It was about a 100-acre site, and in the space of about a year, they not only reclaimed the marsh for workable working space, but they also built a railroad across it to carry these very heavy parts. They had their own fire department, and most importantly, they had labor. This was the essential ingredient that Savannah provided, was workers. When there weren't enough workers in Savannah, people from all over the country came, such that when the shipyard was working at its height, there were 15,000 people reporting for work every day. The people who came to Savannah for the work found good wages. What they didn't always find is a place to live, and that was an important result of the shipyard, was a boom in housing in and around that area. But it proved to be one of the most capable of all the shipyards during World War II. At its height, there would be a launch about once a week. Locally, it had a very profound influence in bringing women into the war effort. Many of the women, of course, worked in the home, but the women who did come learned wholly new skills, whether it was being a burner, whether it was being a rivet catcher, some more traditional jobs like being a chauffeur or a secretary or a cafeteria worker. But these women really felt empowered because they were doing something for the war effort. And among these amazing women who did extraordinary work was Thelma Hodges.
Yeah, Thelma Welch Hodges is one of the most remarkable women I have ever met. I think it was in 2009, she was like 101. First of all, she said her husband, Thad Welch Sr., did not want her to work. So she had to get permission to go to the shipyard to work. And she took classes to learn how to be a acetylene torch welder or burner right here on Bay Street. Right here on Bay Street. And she went out to the shipyards when she worked from 1941 to 1943. And she was a remarkable woman because she said even in high school, she started a cheerleading team at Savannah High School, the first ever. She took shop and technical courses that girls didn't take. And she gave me a remarkable story. And she was feisty, still is. She said to me, she found out that the men were making $1.20 an hour. That was a lot of money. And they were paying the women 56 cents an hour. She took it up with the management and got her $1.20 an hour.
In terms of Savannah, if you were to go by the site of the plant today, you would never know it was there. There's nothing left standing from that shipyard. But if you look around the neighborhood where that shipyard was, that's the legacy of Southeastern Shipyard. Because so many people came, they had to have some sort of housing. So that part of Savannah that was near the shipyard suddenly became thriving. There were all these people there. There were stores that needed to provide for their needs. And so it was, in a sense, a catalyst for neighborhood creation. In a sense, that was the legacy that the shipyard left behind.